Welcome to this episode of Pill and Pod. And today our guest is Mr. KAUSHIK Anand. Mr. KAUSHIK Anand has done his Masters in Pharmaceutics and has done his MBA in Operational Management. Mr. Anand has 14 plus years of rich work experience, especially in regulatory affairs, where he handled medical devices, pharmaceutical products, and in vitro diagnostic devices. He has rich experience of working in Johnson & Johnson, India Medtronic, and Alcon Laboratories. He is presently working with Alcon Laboratories, Delhi as a Senior Manager Regulatory Affairs, handling dry eye and ocular health pharmaceuticals, intraocular lenses, and various accessories and consumables. Mr. Anand is a Regulatory Affairs certified personnel from Regulatory Affairs Professional Society, United States of America. He also reviews the Journal of Young Pharmacists, Medno Publications, India. He is also Associate Editor of International Journal of Research and Development in Pharmacy and Life Sciences. So, let's begin our discussion and interaction with Mr. KAUSHIK Anand today. KAUSHIK ji, thank you so much for giving this opportunity to me to speak to you. सबसे पहला सवाल मैं आपसे ये जानना चाहूँगा कि आपकी ड्रग रेगुलेटरी अफेयर्स में जर्नी कहाँ से शुरू हुई? हाउ एग्जैक्टली डिड यू गेट इनटू दिस DRA field?
Yeah, so when I was searching for my MPharm dissertation project, I had my mentor who was my super boss, Praveen Singh, who is my mentor.
Okay.
And so I connected with him that, sir, there are many fields in in pharma. In which direction I should go? So he advised me that the most challenging field with full of opportunities are having two. One is the intellectual property right, and second one is regulatory affairs. Then I send my resume or curriculum vitae to all those organizations, and I got selected in two. One of them is Johnson & Johnson Medical Device Division, and second one is Ranbaxy. But Ranbaxy was for the formulation and development, and in J&J I got the opportunity to regulatory affairs. My guide was not very much happy because I was doing Master of Pharmacy in Pharmaceutics, so he suggested I should do something in R&D, but I was intrigued with the my mentor advised that I should go with the intellectual property right or regulatory affairs. So I finally joined Johnson & Johnson for my MPharm second year dissertation project, and that project was really successful. My project was on the harmonization of the medical device regulations throughout the worldwide regulation.
Fantastic,
So
dear.
that's how I started my journey in regulatory affairs.
And KAUSHIK Sahab, when was it? कब हुआ था ये? I mean, when exactly you entered into
In
J&J?
2009 to 2010, I was doing dissertation project in J&J under Vice President Dr. Kulwant Saini, who was my guide.
Amazing. Beautiful. So eventually you realized, probably you already got that insight in your intellect that regulatory affairs is your field, is your cup of tea. And then, the forces of nature actually showed you the way to J&J, where you entered into IVDs, that is in vitro diagnostic devices, and you did your dissertation as well as started your career with regulatory affairs. Am I right?
Yes, so that was not the part of IVD because J&J was mainly into the medical devices, because in medical devices there are two subcategories. One is core medical devices and second one is in vitro diagnostic devices. So J&J was handling at that time, there are only two devices that were in vitro diagnostic devices, but they are mainly on the medical devices like cardiac stent, Ethicon sutures or meshes, Ethicon endosurgery equipments, um, and then blood glucose monitoring systems, and the catheters. So these are the main medical devices that J&J was marketing at that time.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. So, Kaushik Saab, how one can join into this field? Because you have already joined and you have that experience, first hand experience. So, I would just like to ask, and what is the selection criteria? If at all a person wishes to go into regulatory field, what should be the selection criteria?
Yeah, so if that person is willing to join in regulatory affairs field, be it like biologicals, medical devices, or pharmaceutical that we say as a drug regulatory affairs, he or she should priorly look into to get into Master of Pharmacy in Regulatory Affairs, because that time there were only one or two institutes who were conducting this M-Pharm program in regulatory affairs. I believe that was MD Rohtak and Manipal. But
Okay.
nowadays, I uh, have the oversight. There are many organizations which are conducting M-Pharm in regulatory affairs. So that would be the good start. If by any reason, if he or she is not got enrolled in that Master of Pharmacy program, then during the Master of Pharmacy, and if he's with the discipline of like
Pharmaceutics or
pharmaceutics, then he should go and do some dissertation project second year in regulatory affairs, be it biological, drug, or medical devices.
okay, okay. But just in case, as if, I mean, I had been interacting with many students of second year pharmacy who are there in pharmaceutics discipline, but they have interest in going into regulatory affairs, but they realized pretty late that they should have actually gone to those institutions, or maybe they might have chosen the topic in regulatory affairs for their second year project, but well, now they have taken some other project. So is there any chance or opportunity for these candidates in regulatory affairs jobs?
Yeah, of course. So when as I told you that when I uh, put up this concept of doing uh, M-Pharm dissertation in regulatory affairs, my co-guide and my dean was not very much happy, but
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of you can mention that adamant that I should go ahead with the regulatory affairs because there are a lot of opportunities. And then I did my project, and I was the student who got the maximum number in Viva, because the comment of my uh, examiner was that this is the guy who really did a good project. Otherwise,
Fantastic.
the others were like doing the copy pasting.
तो कौशिक जी, इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि जो कैंडिडेट्स या जो स्टूडेंट्स आज की डेट में कोई दूसरे टॉपिक पर काम कर रहे हैं वो भी रेगुलेटरी अफेयर्स ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं अपने करियर बनाने के हिसाब से. एम आई राइट?
Yes, yes, sure.
ओके, थोड़ा सा उनको कोशिश शायद ज्यादा करनी पड़ेगी क्योंकि रेगुलेटरी अफेयर्स में उनका प्रोजेक्ट नहीं रहा, या उन्होंने रेगुलेटरी अफेयर्स को उतना डीपली देखा नहीं.
Yes, so we like the seniors or the teachers, whoever is guiding those students, should start like explaining this area also as an opportunity starting from the B Farm level, so that we can educate them that this is the area where they can go to enhance their career.
Fantastic, fantastic. And Kaushik brother, from which institute you did your masters in pharmacy?
So that was Jodhpur National University, based out in Jodhpur.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Amazing, fantastic. If at all a candidate approaches you and you happen to take the candidate's interview, फर्ज कीजिए आप इंटरव्यू ले रहे हैं, तो what question would you like to ask the candidate pertaining to regulatory affairs?
Yeah, so first of all, I'll start with the basics, and when I know that the particular candidate is having M.Pharm or have some basic, like he did some dissertation in regulatory affairs, then I'll ask the questions on the regulatory affairs topic. But if he or she didn't go through that dissertation, or he did some program M.Pharm in different discipline, then I'll keen to know that whether he or she is serious enough about doing the M.Pharm dissertation project. So I'll start the questions what he actually learned during that project.
Fantastic. बहुत बढ़िया कौशिक भाई. Thank you so much for answering this question, as the answer would actually explain many things to new students who are now getting aware that they can actually make a good career in regulatory affairs, and what should exactly they do. So another question which could be connected to this question only: the dissertation
Yeah.
work in regulatory affairs, can a candidate do this after completing his M.Pharm or her M.Pharm?
Yes, of course. He can do this. Uh, First, he need to touch base with the different organization, because what I know that earlier in starting with 2010, many organization does not have this regulatory affairs department.
Mm-hmm.
Only the top MNCs or the major organizations like Sun Pharma or Ranbaxy have those department. But nowadays, most of the organization have this regulatory affairs department, so he can seek the opportunity if he or she can get that he has completed his M.Pharm, and if he or she can join their organization.
As apprentice, I presume.
Yes, as apprentice or
Trainee.
because or as a trainee, because MNCs or top institutions don't really prefer the candidate who does not have the experience in regulatory affairs. So he can join on contractual basis for, let's say, in a year or two. And if he or she is really doing good, then it's a greater chance that particular organization will absorb them as a permanent employee.
Amazing. Beautiful answer. I sincerely would like to convey my gratitude. Thank you so much, Kaushik Bhai, to give this insight for new students. ये एक आशा की किरण उनके लिए हो सकती है, क्योंकि जस्ट इन केस उनको पता नहीं था, उन्होंने M.Pharm कर लिया, उसके बाद उन्होंने रियलाइज किया, किसी को देखा और उनको लगा कि ठीक है, रेगुलेटरी अफेयर्स में जाना चाहिए. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि दरवाजे बंद हैं. थोड़ी कोशिश तो ऑफ कोर्स सबको ही करनी पड़ेगी, मेहनत तो होगी ही होगी, लेकिन वो अप्रोच करें इंस्टीट्यूशन को, आई मीन टू से कंपनीज को. और मुझे तो कौशिक भाई ऐसा लगता है कि अप फ्रंट ऑफर कर दें कि आई एम रेडी टू वर्क एज अ ट्रेनी और एज एन अप्रेंटिस और ऑन कॉन्ट्रैक्चुअल बेसिस फॉर 1 ईयर. मैं सीखना चाहता हूं, मैं सीखना चाहती हूं रेगुलेटरी अफेयर्स को, और whatever amount of remunerations are possible from your side. मेरे को तो चलिए 1 सेकंड के लिए चाहिए भी कुछ नहीं, मुझे तो ट्रेनिंग चाहिए, मैं सीखना चाहती हूँ, सीखना चाहता हूँ. और 1 साल में अगर वो रेगुलेटरी अफेयर्स में अच्छा करता है तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को क्या बुरा लगेगा कि एक अच्छा रिसोर्स उनको रेडीमेड मिल रहा है, या उन्होंने प्रिपेयर कर लिया विदाउट इन्वेस्टिंग मच ऑफ टाइम, मच ऑफ अ मनी. सो मुझे आपकी बात से तो ये लगा कि ये पॉसिबल है आज की डेट में. Am I right?
Yeah. So during that M.Pharm dissertation, I can share you one incident.
Please.
One of the M.Pharm candidate who was doing M.Pharm in regulatory affairs from Manipal, and he contacted me. Actually, he was really behind me through LinkedIn.
Okay.
That sir, he really wanted to do some projects in Alcon because he heard something good about Alcon. So after 3 to 4 follow-ups, I proposed this candidate to my boss. And so at that time, we were kind of thinking if we can give some stipend to that candidate so that he can manage the living in Delhi.
Mm-hmm.
But the HR was saying that since it is not the regular employment, we cannot provide the stipend
Mhm.
to that candidate. And then he backed off.
Okay.
So the primary focus should not be getting the remuneration or the stipend. The primary focus, as you rightly mentioned, should be the learning. If the parents are investing so much, then getting their candidates like M.Pharm degree, then they can of course manage the like expenses for next 1 year or two. So the primary focus should be how they can learn about regulatory affairs, and on-job training is the best way to get the hands-on experience in regulatory affairs, because in that you will have the real-world experience, how we are compiling the dossiers using the different platforms, and then how we are approaching the CDSA or the different health authorities to respond to the queries they have, and then how we are managing the approvals, and what are all the things that we have to do post getting approvals. Because in regulatory affairs there are main like four types of categories, or you can say that four types of phases. One is pre-market, post-market, and then strategic planning, and then government interfacing. So
Okay.
these are the four different fields. So he or she cannot learn these during their maybe the M.Pharm dissertation course, because that would be too much for them. Because in 1 year we cannot cover all the phases of the or the all the disciplines of the regulatory affairs. But if he or she can get a job in contract basis, then he or she will learn a lot on these.
बहुत बढ़िया. Thank you so much, Kaushik brother. This is the appropriate answer actually I was looking for, and I sincerely wish that candidates or the new aspirants would listen to this answer again and again and again and again to imbibe your message in themselves so that they can start trying more and more. Of course, I perfectly understand this, that this is the era where specialization and super specialization is always required. So, if at all, this would be my message to all the aspirants and candidates as well, that they should not actually look towards remunerations first. They should always look for the skills they can develop. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Kaushik brother. So, next thing I would just like to ask, though of course you have already covered it. So, what kind of key skills or technical skills they should have to develop or make their career in DRA or RA, regulatory affairs?
Yes, so as I already mentioned, there are four different type of disciplines.
Mm-hmm.
One is pre-market, second post-market, third and fourth one is interfacing and strategic planning. So strategic planning, they will not get into strategic planning until unless he or she will have the experience of at least 6 to 7 years. So
Very
that
right.
is that should be like out of a scope. Interfacing also means institution or the organization expect interfacing role after the person get into experience of more than 8 to 9 years. Um, so there are two things. One is pre-market and the post-market. They should start with the pre-marketing topic, and they should start reading those guidelines, starting with the US FDA. Because if you go to the US FDA website, and there are different fields of medical affairs, medical devices, IVDs, biologicals, drug, and if you can find, anyone can find lot of guidelines, how to what are the steps, what are the important criterias, lot of guidelines issued by the US FDA. Then they can go to the site of CE Europa, and then if he at all wants to have the experience in the Asia Pacific, then he should start with the Singapore, because Singapore as a country really start developing in the phasic manner, because whenever they start any project, covering the new type of medical devices. So now they have started working on the artificial intelligence software as a medical device. How? Because there are many medical devices which consist of the artificial intelligence technology. So they are developing a program to educate all the stakeholders and their plan how they are going to regulate this new field of the medical devices. So, so, uh, so they start with learning, downloading the guideline, starting with the US FDA, then Europe, and if they want to get into the Asia Pacific region, then they should go ahead with the Singapore.
Fantastic. So there is yet another site I just had been looking into and searching around. There is a site called Topra, TOPRA. This is specifically
Ah,
about European pharmaceutical regulatory agencies.
okay.
Like you have just mentioned, and I actually I'm finding it extremely interesting that Singapore is coming out to be a very extremely good training grounds, as well as the regulatory authorities out there who are serious, extremely serious about the health and the safety and the regulations of drugs coming out in the market. As you very correctly mentioned, that people or the students who are actually looking towards going into regulatory affairs, they should start searching US FDA site as well as the Singapore site, right?
Yes, to start with, yes, because if you in India, they are also coming along, but you see, Singapore regulatory authorities did understand that mere writing a regulation will not suffice for implementing in good manner. Because writing a regulation is okay, but if they don't understand the problem statements and the solutions of the industries, then mere writing a regulation or the regulatory requirements will not suffice or will not serve the purpose. So they do adopt this methodology to first consult with the industry stakeholders, and based on the consultation, they developed a complete project of, let's say, 4 to 5 years in phasic manner. That they will develop this guideline. They will implement these rules, and all those rules were published in consultation with the industry, because they do understand that they may have the upper hand because they are the regulatory authorities, but industry have more skills or the knowledge required for that particular field. Because if you take the example of ophthalmology, they do consult top organizations like Alcon, Bosch and Lomb, because they know that they are doing research and development from, let's say, 1960s. So no regulatory authorities particular to the ophthalmic field are more knowledgeable or have the skills on the products related to the ophthalmic. So they do understand this. Likewise, they approach Cordis for the catheters. They approach Johnson and Johnson for the Ethicon endosurgery devices. So they do contact the really subject matter expert on that field.
Fantastic. I mean, this was the only thing which actually needs to be learned by new candidates, new aspirants. So, I would come to the question which is actually being asked by new candidates is what is the entry level job description? What is the JD of entry level in regulatory affairs?
Yes. So the job description, the designation will be the specialist regulatory affairs.
Hmm.
Means you should have the basic knowledge. So expectation is to get the required documents for particular submission. Let's say there are different types of applications that we have to submit to CDSCO
Hmm.
to get into that. So first, the expectation from the organization is to know what are the regulatory requirements of particular type of application, and then they have to get them from the manufacturing site. So first part is to know the basics about that particular requirement, and
Hmm.
then liaison with the manufacturing site so that they can get those documents from the submission. So then compilation of the dossier, so he or she should well versed with the PDF submissions, and if they can know some platform like regulatory information management system where they can use to really compile the dossier, archive the dossier, and then submit the application to health authorities.
So these management systems which you have just mentioned. Are these available on CDSO site or the organizations, the private organization of pharmaceutical industries have it? Where exactly this management system exists?
So there are different organizations who actually run this regulatory affairs management system.
Okay.
One of them is Viva uh, and Agile. So there are a lot of platforms, but individual will not have access to this platform until unless he is doing a job in some good organization.
Okay.
CDSO also he can learn what are all the documents, but for do the submissions he or she should have the access of that CDSO. That will not he will not get until unless he is doing job. But the point is he should learn how to archive the submissions, how to compile the dossier um, to the CDSO submission.
Got your point. Thank you so much. So, next point is what kind of opportunities are available for career growth, advancements in regulatory departments? I mean, let's say if at all a candidate gets an entry in regulatory affairs as a absolute fresher from the entry level, let's say after 10 years, where exactly he can, aim, what should I be, or how exactly I would be actually growing in 10 years?
Yeah, so there are many fields as we already discussed. There are one field is pharma regulatory affairs, or you say that drug regulatory affairs. Second one is regulatory affairs related to the biological products is the most toughest one because the compilation and archival process of the biological is really tedious. So if the person know about how to compile and archive the submissions for the biological products, the drugs and the medical device will become very easy for him or her. Second one, the third one is the medical devices and IVDs industry. So he can so there are a lot of opportunities, and if you see the overall compensation scenario, then I'll say that is the medical devices and IVDs. I'm not saying that the people who are working as a biological professional or the pharmaceutical professional, they are not doing good. But if you see the percentage, so if 100 professionals are doing regulatory affairs in drug comparison to the regulatory affairs in the medical device, you can see that more number of candidates are getting good compensation in the medical device or IVDs. In next 10 years, he or she can target to become, let's say, in next manager or associate director of any organization. But in my perspective, first they have to develop the knowledge and skills for first like 5 to 6 years, and then he can further develop the skills on the interfacing or the strategic planning so that he can grow up to associate director in the next 10 years.
Wow, amazing. इसको अगर बिल्कुल सिंपल तरीके से समझना चाहें कौशिक भाई, तो मुझे ये समझ में आया कि entry level per a candidate should start, and of course the learning process keeps on going even after 10 years. I perfectly understand and appreciate that fact, but entry level करने के बाद candidate should keep on learning. और जैसा मुझे समझ में आया, there are three major areas in regulatory affairs. The very first is drug regulatory affairs, then you came to diagnostic regulatory affairs, and then come you, as you just mentioned, that biologicals regulatory affairs जो है वो सबसे ज़्यादा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड और सबसे ज़्यादा डिफिकल्ट है. तो जाहिर सी बात है, मुझे ऐसा लगता है बायोलॉजिकल्स में पहुंचना किसी भी कैंडिडेट का एम होना चाहिए, बिकॉज वहां पर सबसे ज्यादा कॉम्प्लिकेशंस हैं या डिफिकल्टीज हैं। तो जाहिर सी बात है, जहां डिफिकल्टीज ज्यादा होंगी, रिन्यूमरेशन और पोस्टिंग वहां ज्यादा ही होगी। आई परफेक्टली
Right.
अंडरस्टैंड दैट। बहुत प्यारे
Yeah.
ढंग से आपने समझाया, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर दैट। वैसे द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन कुड बी, what are the biggest challenges and most rewarding aspects of regulatory affairs in your view? What are those जो challenges आप फेस करते होंगे डे इन डे आउट, वो क्या हैं? बिगेस्ट challenges क्या हैं?
The biggest, so the challenge is to identify the root cause or the problem statement, because I have like 6 to 7 member in my team. In regulatory affairs, what we really, or the person who will really grow, who actually identifies the problem assessment, make the assessment how to put forward the solution to that problem.
Okay.
And if he or she can represent the whole thing in a minimum sentences, or we can say that good drafting skills, then he or she should grow more. Because I don't remember the who wrote that, but there was a very common phrase we use in regulatory affairs that if I would have had more time, then I would have written a short letter to you. So to write 10 pages of
Okay.
the cover letter or 2 pages cover letter is very easy, but you have to compile your all things. If you can do that in one word, that would be like you are great. Then you have all the skills to make the assessment and put forward those assessment in one word. So if the person will have that kind of a skill, then I'm sure that he will grow faster.
Perfect. So this is one word. Another word which I would like to use is communication skills. Of course, writing skills, comprehensions are extremely, extremely important skills one candidate should have to get into regulatory affairs career. It's tough. And of course, tough things are very exciting. Amazing. Thank you so much, Kaushik, brother. Thank you so much. So, though, of course, this particular question which I'm going to ask next is not more than 60% pertinent to our latest or the present discussion. What kind of company culture and work environment remains in regulatory affair departments? What kind of company culture? Because I have seen production, I have seen sales and marketing. So different cultures and environment happens in every department. So what kind of culture remains or happens in regulatory affair?
Yeah, so if you happen to join a good organization like MNC, they provide a good environment for any employee to really learn and grow. First is like it's a flexible. You do not have to really come to office at 8:30 and you should leave office at 5:30, because so that is a flexible working environment. In some of the companies, I know that there is a 3 days a week, means you have to go to office only 3 days, and then 2 days you can work from home, and then there are 2 weekends. So in Alcon, if you take example of Alcon earlier post-COVID era, that was 3+2. Now we are working with 4+1. So I have to come to office only 4 days, and on Friday I have a choice if I have to come to office or not.
Okay.
So first is the flexible timing, and then the what you say that mixed type of like work from home or work in office kind of culture we have.
Got your point. Got your point. Fantastic. That's too beautiful. And Kaushik brother, do you see some role of artificial intelligence, which is actually a in thing now. Everybody is talking about AI. So do you see some role of AI in regulatory affairs working?
Yes, so that's what I like mentioned during the discussion that if be it you have the experience of 15 years or 20 years, you should not stop learning,
Mm-hmm.
because the day you think that I know, like
Everything
मेरे को तो सब कुछ आता
आ
है,
गया,
it's like
सब गड़बड़ हो जाएगा वहां
आ
पर.
गया है, and then that वो आपका डाउनफॉल शुरू हो जाएगा.
Absolutely
So,
beautiful.
so you have to keep finding a ways, because in first year, 5 years or 10 years, if company is paying you like 50 lakh per year,
And yeah.
then yeah, per annum, then like uh, that if you want to grow further, like you should have the CTC of like 1.5 crores or 2 crores per annum,
Hmm.
then company will not pay you for doing a job of manager.
Of
Like
course.
that job could be done by the people of like position senior specialist or assistant manager or the manager of regulatory affairs,
Hmm.
who is earning like 30 to 40 lakhs per annum.
Hmm.
If you want to get that uh, get into that bracket, then you should learn. So that comes into the picture. You have to find out what are the new things uh, which he or she should learn. So if you take my example, then nowadays I am focusing on the cyber security,
Okay.
how cyber security, and then software as a medical device, software in medical device, and then the digital health part. So in the digital health part, that also includes the artificial intelligence.
All right.
So if you see the guidelines of the US FDA, and they have started discussion of this digital health that includes the cyber security plus artificial intelligence, they have started working on 2018 or 2019. So they still are not sure that how they are going to regulate this field, because in medical devices or any drug, they know that there are the particular specifications, and you evaluating those specifications, they can evaluate the final product. But if you take the example of artificial intelligence, as it's already mentioned, that it develop the new specifications in every 3 months or 6 months, because the machine itself is actually learning through the artificial intelligence. So the one of the most important topic in the digital health I forgot to mention is the machine learning. So that actually includes the artificial intelligence process. So my focus area of next 5 years to as the authorities are working, how I should learn the different regulatory authorities guideline, what they are actually doing, how I can enroll myself into that discussion, so that so that I can learn more and more about that. So because I know that after 5 years, company may start feeling that why I'm paying this Kaushik so much of money
Hmm.
if he's not adding value. The work he's doing is actually I can get that done. I'm a person of the managerial level. Why I should retain Kaushik Anand? But if they know that Kaushik Anand is subject matter expert of the new field, that even regulators are actually discussing, having a dialogues with industry associations, making assessments how to develop, then of course they will keen to retain me.
This is very, very true, Kaushik brother. This is very, very true, because keep on sharpening your sword is always a skill which needs to be there for a professional to grow. If at all you stop learning, you are stuck, you are redundant. And of course, the company is already paying you for your productivity. If you don't increase your productivity, company actually wouldn't need you. You are I
Yes.
mean, precisely appropriate about this explanation of yours. Thank you so much for that. And I caught hold of, I got three terms which you used: the digital health,
So that was one field of digital health,
digital
and
health,
then digital health includes the cyber security
cyber
part.
security, correct,
Second one is machine learning,
machine learning.
and third one is artificial intelligence.
Fantastic. So I was deliberately trying to repeat these three terms so as to convey this message to new aspirants and candidates and students to keep on looking for contents, teachings, or studies, or whatever options available out there to learn these three things. If at all, of course, it takes time. It might not be. It might not happen in 1 month or 2 months. Maybe it would take 3-4 years. But if at all they keep on pursuing one of these three topics, one of the three terms you just mentioned, and can access some information, some skill, companies would actually appreciate your efforts and they would start picking you up. I'm looking
Yes.
towards entire discussion from a perspective of a candidate who is actually looking for a job, a career making. So I'm trying to explain this to candidates that ऐसा ऐसा आपको करना चाहिए. जो कौशिक साहब ने 3 टर्म्स यूज किए, उनको ढूंढिए, देखिए कहाँ से वो सीखे जा सकते हैं, और उन पर जितनी भी इंफॉर्मेशन आप इकट्ठी कर सकते हैं, पढ़ सकते हैं, इम्बाइब कर सकते हैं, एंड देन यू शुड अप्रोच अ company that okay, I'm ready, I know this, and the company would appreciate your efforts. Fantastic. Thank you so
Yes.
much, Kaushik brother. Last but not the least, of course, ये मैं क्वेश्चन आपसे जरूर बहुत पोलाइटली पूछना चाहूंगा, बिकॉज हर कैंडिडेट आज की डेट में वो ये क्वेश्चन अपने टॉप ऑफ द माइंड पर रखता है, जबकि मैं उन्हें सजेस्ट करता हूं कि ये आपके टॉप ऑफ द माइंड में नहीं होना चाहिए. द क्वेश्चन इज approximately what kind of initial salary packages in regulatory affairs happens if a candidate gets into an entry level position?
Mhm. So that depends in which organization you happen to join. So, but I'll start with the basics. So if you join the mid-level of organization or the Indian companies, they will not pay you less than if at all you are in NCR, Delhi NCR, or
Mhm.
metro cities like Bangalore,
Hyderabad,
Mumbai,
Mumbai.
Hyderabad, like that. So the company will not pay you less than 2.5 to 3 lakh per annum.
Mhm.
And but if you are lucky with the God grace, you happen to join some good organizations like J&J, Medtronic, um, Sun Pharma. So they have the initial salary package of 4 to 5 lakhs per annum.
Correct, because I also had been feeling the same, that organizations like J&J or Boston or Baxter or Sun Pharma, maybe Intas, maybe Zydus, they have their packages is starting from one particular level. They don't go below that. Of course, they look into the candidature of the student or the aspirant, and then they decide the kind of a salary. But as you very correctly mentioned, that to start with, students or aspirants should not actually look towards the size of the package. They should look towards the learning packages, how much I can learn staying in that industry or in that company. You are absolutely right, Kaushik brother. Thank you so much for your most valuable time. I sincerely had a lovely time talking to you, discussing with you. I sincerely hope that आपसे बातचीत के बाद बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स को ये आइडिया मिलेगा, और देर आर सो मैनी इंस्टीट्यूशंस जो रेगुलेटरी अफेयर्स में मास्टर्स भी दे रहे हैं, और बच्चों को बी फॉर्म लेवल से ही इस चीज़ की तरफ अपनी इंटरेस्ट बढ़ाना चाहिए, एंड दे शुड स्टार्ट studying more. So I would request you, Kaushik brother, to please convey your message, motivate these new aspirants, new students.
Yeah, sure. So, as a institutions, when I happen to have a discussion with the uh, colleges or the institutions, I always mention that because it's our responsibility also to educate them, make the awareness that there is a discipline called regulatory affairs, where they can look into if at all they are interested. So starting from B Farm, if not with the first year or second year, then starting from third year or fourth year, there should be one a subject, or if they cannot include the entire subject on the regulatory affairs, they can include one chapter or two chapters explaining what is actually regulatory affairs, what are all the fields in the regulatory affairs, the basics. And in the M farm, if they are not able to initiate the M farm in the particular field because of so many administrative reasons, then they should include this like one subject for the pharmaceutical students, or the students who are doing the regulatory affairs in chemistry or analysis. If not pharmacology and pharmacognosy. Um, so if they can educate them that these are also field, and they can have the basic knowledge what is actually regulatory affairs. And then uh, I do remember that there was a subject called jurisprudence in B Farm third year, and I'm sure that is still be there as a jurisprudence subject. But
Yes.
we were not aware that jurisprudence is linked with the regulatory affairs.
Hmm.
And मेरे नंबर तो 50 ही आए थे यदि out of 50. एंड देन
Okay.
यदि एक दो नंबर कम आता तो सप्लीमेंट आ जाता.
Oh my God.
यस सो बिकॉज मुझे पता ही नहीं था कि jurisprudence हाउ दिस इज linked with the
Regulatory affairs.
regulatory affairs. So if we can not only saying asking students to learn about jurisprudence, what is the DTAB, what is the consultative committee, what are the different applications, if we can link those learnings to the particular how they can apply this knowledge to the industry, then students will keen to learn that these are not just the guidelines so that they can mug up. They if they at all want to go into the regulatory affairs field, these are the basics that they should know. Um, so it's our responsibility also to educate them, to make them aware that there is a field waiting for you to join.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much, Kaushik ji. I am seriously grateful to you that you had given insights which are not easily available. And I perfectly understand that professionals are extremely busy, and
Yeah.
they're just running around here and there to just, meet probably the targets. So they would not be getting much time to think on making contributions to the society or the younger generations or to the, juniors. But you took this challenge to talk to me, to convey precise and pertinent messages to the students. आपने बिल्कुल अप्रोप्रिएट बातें बताई हैं, और मुझे पूरी पूरी उम्मीद है स्टूडेंट्स शुड एक्चुअली कीप ऑन लिसनिंग टू दिस प्रोग्राम 2 to 3 times, सो दैट वो आपके जो टर्म्स आपने यूज़ किए, आपने जो मैसेजेस दिए, उनको अगर वो पकड़ सकें और उसकी तरफ काम कर सकें, तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है मेरी और आपकी तरफ से एक वैल्यू एडिशन हमारे फार्मेसी स्टूडेंट्स के लिए हो पाएगा. थैंक यू सो मच कौशिक भाई. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर गिविंग अस दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी.
Sure, sir. Thanks for giving me this opportunity to have a dialogue with you. It was really great. Because I also wanted to give something back to the society or the organization, or particularly Kumaon University, because of that university only what I'm here.
Absolutely.
Because I really admire that institution, and in future also, if I can do more for that organization, I will really be willingly do that. So please let me know if there is any opportunity of such kind.
Fantastic. Absolutely, Kaushik brother. I promise you, anything would come up, I'll certainly convey this message to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So we had been talking to Kaushik Anand ji, who got his basic education from Kumaon University, Bhimtal, and then he did his masters from Jodhpur. He shared his insights. He gave priceless messages. I sincerely hope that we would learn a lot and we came to know how exactly we can get into regulatory affairs career making. So, I'll see you in another episode with another discussion with another expert. Stay with me.